Welcome to the Rec Room Podcast. I'm going to get this music loaded up, and then we're going to get started. The order never changed. T Streets, what it do?
Chilling. What's going on?
Same old same. I'm trying to get this music loaded up real quick so we can have that all ready. And we going to get that started now. Yeah.
That time again.
It is. What's good with you?
Chilling, man. Chilling. How about with you?
Same old same. I still had a semi-busy week. Nothing crazy. Oh, I don't got... Oh, here we go. Okay. I ain't think I had everything I need at first. AG.
Hey. What's going on, everybody?
What's good?
What's good?
Healthy. Ready to get started on this special Mother's Day edition of the Rec Room.
It's the Mother's Day edition. That's what we going with?
Yeah, apparently. By default.
Funny,
that was
I ain't even think
those accidents, man. That's a happy accident.
I ain't think
right
about
there.
that until you said it. I ain't even think about it, bro.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
We're going to learn a lot today, that's for sure.
Toxic Mother's Day edition.
Yeah, Toxic Mother's Day edition. Shout out to all the great mothers out there, all the great women. We salute you.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Trey.
Yeah, absolutely.
There you go.
Hey, we here, baby. Let's do the daggone.
We got everybody in the building.
Yeah, man.
Did you had the you did all the coaching and all that stuff today?
Bruh, I just got back, bro. I just got back from coaching, man.
Nice.
Yep. We had a scrimmage tonight. We had 2 scrimmages this week. We got a game on Saturday, so that's how it is, baby. Life for coach.
Ezra had he played T-ball, but they canceled the game. It was supposed to, man, it's so unorganized. I'm not even gonna get into that, man.
We gotta do an episode. We gotta do an episode on youth sports. On youth sports.
Bro, it's so unorganized. It's ridiculous. But
I believe you.
Yeah, we're gonna get into to the episode. I'm gonna introduce it once I get this music started. So I would like to welcome everybody again to the Rec Room Podcast. This is episode number 14. Hey, we getting up there. That's so dope, man.
We
That's
vets.
so dope.
We vets, bro. Better than Joe Button, right?
And so this episode number 14. Nah, you ain't gonna get him to say that.
Right there.
We got some ways to go.
Okay.
We got a long way to go.
So this is episode number 14, and this episode is titled what's it? I done lost my thought. This episode,
Entanglements.
Entanglements. There you go. Entanglements, right?
Hey, we can't start off like that. Not on this episode.
Oh, we can't.
Not on this one.
Over there messing up.
Well, if
stay
that's
on your
the case, no, you're right. So with that, I'm gonna just go ahead before I'm gonna go ahead and introduce everybody, right? So we got T Streaks.
Yep.
We got Trey Philando.
We here.
We got AG.
Hello.
And we got me, E, as your host. But guess what? Tonight, we have a special guest.
Yes, we do.
And we would like to welcome you to the Rec Room Podcast. Danya, we would like to welcome you.
Thank you so very much.
Yeah, live audience feedback. I love it.
Yeah. So
Absolutely.
We really appreciate you joining the podcast. And tonight, the reason that we have Danya as a guest on the podcast is because we are talking about female. Well, we're going to focus on female infidelity, right? And the yeah. And so the title of the pod is based on we call it entrapments and I mean not entrapments, but Entanglements, and we base that on it's like a play on, if everybody doesn't know, unless you live under a rock, Will Smith and Jada Smith are a married couple, and it came out that Jada Pinkett was cheating on Will Smith with August Alsina. And the thing about it, which was different, most of the time, it's always the men who are known as dogs and the cheaters and stuff like that, right? But when this came out, most of the focus was on Jada Pinkett, right? And this episode, we're going to focus on female infidelity, just because we just going to go by the other side, because there's a perception that men are most of the cheaters and always cheat. Right. And we had Danya on the episode so she can give her perspective. But what I'm gonna do, I'm going to start with an article that kind of fits our narrative tonight. There were a lot of articles, but I had to go with the one that fits what we get ready to get into. And this is from the New York Post, and it says women are more likely to cheat than men, and here's why. So it says science is finding that women struggle more than men when it comes to staying faithful in relationships. Even when your marriage is good, you still miss that rush of feeling so excited you can't eat or sleep when you're having such an intense time emotionally and sexually with a new person. That's what I kept going. That's how I kept going after, and why I couldn't say what I couldn't say no to. And this is a lady named Monica she was 45 from Melbourne, and she describes her experiences with cheating. And she says that she's far from alone. And it says, according to a growing body of research, many women in long-term relationships are sexually adventurous and have secret lovers.
Many women.
Hey, I'm gonna have to go have a talk with some people, right? So it says,
I need to go have a talk with her and ask her where she got her,
no, this is the real
information from.
This New York Post is the real deal. So it says,
them New York girls, man. What's going on?
I mean, maybe that's what it is.
We get to it, right? So it says,
the first I'm hearing about
and the baggy jeans and what's going on in New York? All this facts and B. Look at that.
I like this article.
You
so
know
it says,
facts and B.
You're from New York.
So it says, New Yorkers.
It says the view that it's mostly men who cheat because their partners lose interest in sex is outdated. So we're going to get rid of that narrative. Science says that it's actually women who struggle more with monogamy because they get bored in the bedroom. Women crave sexual variety, and while some stifle or stop their desire, others will be unfaithful. So some don't give in, some do, right? I'm going to read a little bit more because it's more that helps the fellas out, right? So it says Wednesday. It says Wednesday Martin, an anthropologist and author of Untrue, refers to this new research as the Great Correction. That sounds good. Martin interviewed dozens of sociologists, I'm gonna skip that word, sex researchers. Hey, look, I get stuck. And you know what? I realized every time I read these articles, I get stuck on words. I'm gonna do some.
No worries, man. English
I'm gonna do something
language too. Don't worry about it.
No, it's something I noticed though. It's something I noticed. So it says
do the same thing. So don't feel bad. Don't feel bad.
I don't feel bad. It's just like, damn, I don't know them words. Okay, so sex researchers and anthropologists for her book on female infidelity, and it says that it's a sad, sorry picture that's painted that the female libido is grossly wrong. It's alive and kicking and eager to be satisfied. So wow, that's what's going on, right? So my question is, to everybody, really, what is considered cheating?
Ooh, fantastic question.
Cheating?
That's what I want to know.
There's different levels of cheating. I guess it all depends on. How you define cheating within yourself. You know, so some people, I guess, like myself, I feel like there are 3 levels of cheating, which is mental, emotional, and physical.
Okay.
Mental. So it's meant. So which one is the strongest? Obviously, it's mental, correct?
Yes, absolutely. I think that mental is the most strongest and the most common form of cheating. You know, because I'm pretty sure I have mentally cheated a couple of times at the basketball court watching y'all play.
Hey,
so
watch out.
That's
power forward out there.
I'm lost. I'm lost.
That run through this mind.
Okay, so hold on. Can I ask a question? So mental meaning like is, and I think I E, correct me if I'm wrong. I think both me and E were on the same page with this one. When you say mental, what does mental mean? Like you're picturing yourself being intimate with another person?
Yes.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
That's cheating?
See, guys don't do that. We don't.
That's cheating.
Men don't cheat.
That's
I mean, this
cheating.
is established already.
It's a form of cheating, you know.
Oh my God! If that's the case, everybody cheats.
Oh man, we're screwed.
It's a form of cheating, so it all depends on how you define the word cheating. Now, if we're talking about physical cheating, then we can have that conversation. But you can't negate the mental or the emotional.
But emotional cheating is facts. That's serious.
Mm-hmm.
I know all about that. I done emotionally been on the other side of that coin. I've been the side guy plenty of times.
Oh,
and I love the role.
Oh, side piece, huh?
Okay,
August
messing up homes.
Okay, August. My man, August T.
He was the entanglement.
She's the one we got to worry about.
Hey, T3.
Sliding in them DMs.
But I don't.
So you know your job, you know your position, you know how to keep your mouth shut.
Damn right.
I'm just lost on. So for me, all right. So I'm gonna give. I'm gonna give some examples, right? So if a woman walks past, so basically to me, what you saying, like if a woman walk past and I turn around and I look at her, that I've cheated. I mean, like,
for one, that is very disrespectful to your partner, especially if you're doing it in front of your partner.
See it, first of all, if she don't see it, then nothing happens.
That's cheating. Come on, y'all losing. You losing me. That's cheating.
But here's the thing, though. It's all about what's agreed between two parties, right? You know,
absolutely.
You know, like, so this is what makes these things so very interesting. What, you know, some may consider cheating. Some may consider that's just everyday normal behavior. You know what I mean? Nothing. They don't see anything wrong with it. So therefore, they're not purposely trying to hurt someone. They're just, you know, being themselves, kind of.
Yeah.
So it all depends on what that agreement is between that.
But I think you can have willpower if you're with your significant other and a beautiful woman walks past you. You should be able to not be able to watch her, because that becomes the form of cheating that we consider to be disrespectful.
So that's why disrespect. We reckless eyeballing. You can't break your neck.
That's
but you know
what?
Yeah.
But there's a difference between. But there's a difference between disrespect and cheating. I just don't feel like if I see a female and I be like, dang, she look good, and I'm looking at her, I don't feel like I don't understand how that would.
You're materializing it into something that you could. I mean, I'm pretty sure you're looking at it like the things I could do with her.
Yeah, I like
you know. So that is
let's bring that back. Hey.
Okay.
Continue.
Materializing it. All right.
Materializing it. I'm gonna have to write that word down.
You're bringing it into physical form. So therefore, that's a form of cheating.
Okay.
Wow. Well, I learned something new, because I have to agree to disagree with you. I don't.
Yeah.
That's all I know. You still on the flip side, like, what you got to say? What is it?
If you play your cards right, y'all both look at the girl when she walks past.
Exactly.
Okay.
That's you say, about to go.
You got to play it off and say.
In a relationship with me, I would definitely be like, oh, dang. I would give him the option to look. I'd be like, oh, look at her. She fat.
So you're going to determine what's cheating.
Yeah, I'm not falling for that trap.
Consider that cheating.
That sounds like a trap.
Why? Because I initiated that. I told him that it was okay because he was going to do it behind my back.
So if the table was turned, the man is not going to say, oh, yeah, you can look at him. You can,
definitely not.
Right.
Definitely not.
It'll be a bar fight. It'll be all kind of violence.
As a woman, I can say that I do appreciate the woman's body. So if I look at a woman, I know the same stuff that I had. My man didn't have.
Work of art. It's a work of art.
Okay, well,
it's a work of art.
Yeah, so I can appreciate.
That's a whole different podcast right there. That's a different podcast right there.
So Danya, so in terms of the statistics that I gave, right? In your opinion, you know, I'm sure you have a lot of female friends and female co-workers and family and all of that stuff, right? Do you feel like if you had to say, would you say that females are big cheaters? Do you feel like females do cheat just as much as men?
Be honest.
Like,
I honestly no, because that's not the type of crowd that I hang with.
Boom. Hey, thank you for coming to the show. Thank you for coming. Hey, you hear that, y'all?
Okay, that sounds.
You hear that, y'all? There's levels.
Studious.
But
it's the right way to go.
But how do you know though? Maybe they're not sharing those.
Yeah, females don't share everything.
Maybe they're not. You know what I mean? Talking to you about those type of different.
I mean, you can
situations.
if you're. I was just having this conversation when you're fully engaging in any type of relationship, whether it's platonic or friends, whatever you want to call it, you know the person that you're interacting with. You can pretty much identify what it is that they're thinking, what it is that they're going to say. So there's no way to say, okay, yeah, I didn't know. There's going to be some signs to know that your girl's hoeing out here. She's going to do something. She's going to say something. So...
Well, so this is what I say to that. So my mom told me, right, and you listen to your parents. She told me that that if a woman cheats, women are much more, I guess, more slick than men, and that a woman could cheat.
I would agree,
and that you would never ever know.
I would agree. I would definitely agree.
Like Chris Rock says, women cheat in the daytime. Go ahead, AG.
We do.
I would say this.
See what I'm saying?
We do. Because you're at work. You're not thinking that we're going to be out there.
I know these things.
And the reason that we can do that is because we're going to come home. We're going to cook. We're going to take care of the home. We're going to take care of you when you come home. You're never going to suspect it if we do.
You know what's terrible? I have said the exact same thing 20 years ago, how the tables have turned. Because 20 years ago, we were having this conversation. It would be a very different conversation. When we were out there, in my 20s out there running around, that was kind of like the behavior that men would, predominantly be known for. And I think about 10 years ago, I started noticing a shift, right? And I think it was right when social media really started taking off. And I've mentioned this on this show, and everybody who's listening, light up the chat. Tell me if you agree with me or not. Women, regardless of, get hit on, approached, harassed, whatever you want to call it, so much during a daily basis
10,000 times
that it can be like Tyson Beckford, let's call it. You know what I mean? Like somebody like the Standard. You can have someone like, you got Trey Beckford. That's where my guy Trey Beckford, you know what I mean, comes from.
Idris Elba.
It's just like Idris. Like imagine Idris. As much as we think Idris gets thrown at him on a daily basis, a regular woman walking down the street triples that. It's not even close. So we have to be conscious, because when we're building with someone, you have to know that regardless of, that person is getting hit on, approached by many people. But what I have known in my travels, that once she chooses you, she chooses you.
Absolutely.
But she will subtly, when you're slipping, she will subtly tell you, hey, bro, you're not taking care of me emotionally.
Absolutely.
Whatever the case may be, right? You're not satisfying me in one way.
She's going to tell you before she does it.
Correct. That's what I've seen.
No, that's not true.
Go ahead, Trey, because I'm going to give a story. Right. I'm going to give a story. Go ahead, Trey. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's not true, because a lot of, I think it's like a generational thing, or maybe not, but a lot of women, just like Donnie stated, right? They come home, they cook, they do all these things, right? So it's like they're waiting on their man to do what they want them to do, but because of their man's fragile ego or fragile pride, they don't know how to approach them, right? It could be financial, which is leading to the non-physical. It could be he's playing effing video games. And he's not communicating with her. But at the same time, she loves him, but she's getting those things emotionally, which just like she said, which turns to physical later. Because if he's with you 10 hours a day, if I'm seeing you at work 2 hours, 3 hours, I'm locked in for them 2 hours on you, right? Yeah. And you are getting all of these things in a shorter amount of time. You're gonna step out eventually. But just like AG said, some women, they might sit down with their man, but how many women do we know?
What I was saying.
Go ahead.
Saying, no, that's not what I said. What I said is that she's gonna drop some hints. She's gonna try to tell you when you just what you're saying.
Hints. I got you.
Like if you're not if you're not focused, if you're not listening. So sometimes what I notice is that most people tend not to want confrontation. They don't want to be direct first because of what you said, the ego.
Right there.
Now, if you're an alpha male and not a beta male,
speak on
there
it.
is a difference, right? And if you've heard this show, I always say this: there is a difference, and I'm not trying to down anybody, but you get what you put out. So
exactly,
allow yourself to be coached. Allow yourself to be told you're wrong when you're wrong. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
At least she's telling you. If she's
big.
telling you, homie, there's something not clicking here. Listen to her if you care.
Listen.
Because if you don't, I promise you, T is going to be right there.
T is going to be out there with the gold
right there.
He's going to be out there with the Burger King.
I'm going to be the emotional support.
Exactly.
I'm going to talk to you. I'm going to listen to you. I'm going to give you advice. I'm going to take up for the guy because I really don't want you to leave him. I really want you to stay there.
You really want him to stay.
You know what?
Damn,
really disturbing.
There's levels.
When a man sits there like, oh, yeah,
because if you messing around on him with me, you gonna mess around on somebody else with me.
Right.
You baiting a man. You baiting the thing. You trying to make us feel
Can
like
I
you're
ask
the
a
better
question?
man.
Can I ask a question then? Like whenever, because these things happen. Let's not call it what it is, and these things happen. But let me ask: is that long term? Like when a woman does step out and she's like, "Oh, you know what? I'm gonna risk it all. I'm just gonna go ahead and pivot, and I'm gonna go from my current situation. I'm gonna go with the person I'm having an affair with because my needs are being met." Have you heard how that goes long term? Because I want to kind of hear about that.
I think me being a woman, if I'm going to cheat, absolutely, I'm cheating. Maybe to get out of the situation and go elsewhere, and I'm looking for longevity in that particular situation.
Right. But has that ever like actually worked? Because like the thing that would probably, like, if I'm the side guy, right? Like if you were in a relationship, like in the back of my mind, I'm like, well, the same way I was there, you know what I mean? Being that shoulder to lean on, I wonder if that's happening to me down the line because you're kind of showing certain characteristics or behaviors.
Yeah. And see, I think that's where, that would kind of determine where you are and where you want it to go. If you guys are making a mutual decision, hey, look, I'm about to leave my partner, I want to make sure that it's safe here, then you go in that direction. But you got to keep up what it is that you were, giving into the situation for the long term. You can't stop because those very reasons that she left, it was because of those things that you were doing and you were giving.
Right. But like, because I can imagine that like there may be some tension with the person that, like, let's say you end up going with, they might have something in the back of their mind saying, well, shoot, the same way
if she did it to me, if she did it,
right, because that behavior is there, right?
Yeah.
Because out in this, you know what I mean? Because when we were younger and we were out doing whatever we were doing, if one thing we were always taught, if someone talks negatively about you or they're telling you, oh, that man's running over here, he's pumping over there, if they're saying that about other people's business, they're probably saying that about your business.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So it's kind of like something we learned very early on in our youth when we were running around in the streets you kind of, you watch people's behaviors because it's pretty consistent whether you're there or not, whether it's towards you or not. So like I've always been curious about that piece because I've seen firsthand, women, let's be honest, guys, we think that we're the ones that are approaching a woman. We got game, we're the ones that are creating the vibe. They saw us 5 minutes before we saw them and they already had it planned out.
Absolutely. Oh yeah.
They looked at us, making us feel like we're the ones that are initiating when really they're the ones that are planting the seeds and dropping everything. So
they already know. They already know.
They know look, y'all telling too much business.
Hey, free game. Oh, I'm gonna take it back.
Calm down on that.
Duly noted.
I mean, yes, a woman will know where she's trying to go with that particular man immediately.
Wow.
So
she said immediately.
I mean, and most women like myself, we're not just driven by just the physical aspects of a man. It has to be, how articulate you are,
right?
Because you can't come up to me like, yo, baby, and all that other stuff. Like, I'm not going to give you the time of the day. But if you hit me with excuse me, miss, or excuse me, beautiful, can I get a moment of your time? I'm going to be all ears.
Oh, okay. Well,
you know what I'm saying? And then I'm going to try to see where it is you're going with it.
Right.
Hey, look.
See, Trey, I'm the master of the slow walk. I don't do that.
Okay.
I'm a slow walker.
Hey.
The slow walker, licking the lips with the little squishy eyes.
Oh, you got the LL going
we're
on.
looking at that, but we want to know what it is that you're talking about. What it is that you could give us that we're not getting in our current situation.
All right.
Well, I'm gonna pose a question, right?
Go ahead.
Because we're talking about cheating and women cheating and stuff like that. But I have a good question. I have a real question, and then I have a story behind it. And
okay.
My question is, if your mate cheats, whether it's a girlfriend, fiance, or wife, do you think that it's forgivable if it's one time, and do you think that you could take the person back? Now that's what's real. Now with me saying that, I'm gonna tell you all a story, and I'm not gonna name any names.
Name names.
Yeah. Of course.
Nah, tell them all.
Nah, I can't do that.
Hey,
but what's up?
Hey, bro, I do not want to cut you off, but I'm sorry. Eugenia Donald said that my comment was not true. She said that's not true. I cheated in the night. That was
right.
I busted out for the fences.
Shout out Eugenia.
Shout out Eugenia.
Hilarious.
Hey, her man must have worked the overnight shift.
Go ahead, E. I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry.
All right, okay. But no, but that's a good but that's dope though, because it just shows that it's all different type of scenarios that happen. So back to if your mate cheats on you, right? So me and one of my best friends, we would always talk about I don't know how the conversation would come up, but we always talked about, could we take our mate back if they cheated on us, our wife per se, right? And me and him had this thing where we was like, it's just no way possible that we could do it, right? And so he got married, and he ended up getting so he started off regular, but then he ended up starting to get real religious, right? And so with him getting real religious, and his wife was she was religious, but not as much as he got into it. And you know, sometimes when a person newly finds Christ, they like on it, you know what I mean? And they just in overdrive with it, right? Right. And so it was the kind of the beginning for him. And so that's how he turned. And by him doing that, he started to not want her to wear shirts that maybe go below. He wanted her to wear shirts that cover up her, backside, her ass or whatever. He also didn't want her drinking anymore and stuff like that. Now to her, they're already used to, she's already used to how their marriage is, because they're like 4 years in now. So to her, he's turned into a new person. And even though he's turned into a new positive person, she's not there yet. So by her not being there yet, it kind of pushed her away. And to make a long story short, she ended up stepping out on him, right? And he found out, and he got, super angry, was throwing her stuff out and all that type of stuff. But we always talked about what would we do if that happened. And even though that happened to him and we had that conversation, because he was married and he wanted to work his marriage out, he still tried to stick it out. Now, did it work in the end? No, they ended up getting a divorce, and they really couldn't get through it. But that was a real serious situation, because you don't really hear about that much, or I don't anyway. It's always most of the time the guy. You may read about it, see it on TV, but you don't really. I don't hear too much about when the wife has cheated, and that happened to him. And I didn't talk to him for like a year. He was just in a real dark place. It's a great ending. He ended up finding getting remarried not too long after that, had 2 beautiful kids, and so that's how the story goes. But back to my question on do you think that you could take a mate back if they cheated on you?
I'm gonna go last.
I have.
How did that work? How did that work out for you? I'm curious.
I have. Well, it didn't end well, mainly because the trust was broken. I think I tried to work past the issues because we had already established a family, we blended families and everything. And I think I began to stay in it for the wrong reasons, just mainly security now, as opposed to something that, was emotionally fulfilling for me.
That's big.
So
that's big right there.
Yeah. Security. So I think at the end of the day, I don't think that it could work, because your trust has been betrayed, and then the man don't want to keep having to prove, or a woman don't want to have to keep proving themselves, and constantly validating something, because that trust has been, But no, it didn't. It didn't end well. It didn't end well because that was the basis of why the separation happened. It's like, no, I can't trust you. Then a lack of trust turned into resentment. And along with resentment comes more arguments. You're not seeing eye to eye, and then there's more cheating. So, and you got to go.
Do you believe in the cheat back? So so one day, it was some years ago. It was these two Ethiopian girls that I knew, and this is years ago, like maybe like my mid-20s, and we had gotten into a conversation, and the conversation was about cheating, and this was the first time I heard a woman kind of speak like this, and they were saying that if they mate cheated, they didn't believe in cheating back. They felt like that was stupid to give their body up because, to someone now, there's some people who believe in like a eye for an eye. You cheat on me, oh, I'm going to go cheat back on you. So, Danya, do you believe that if you cheated back on him, do you think that would have made you feel a little better?
Absolutely not. One thing about me, I cherish my body. I love my body. I take care of my body. So, therefore, I don't want anybody else,
Clap. Get the clap. Hey, we appreciate you saying this, man. Yeah, 100.
I made a commitment to give my body to only this person. So no, ain't nobody else gonna get that, that same thing. So no, I don't believe in the cheat back. Absolutely not. I would stick there and I would try to work it out. But if it's not working, then I'll go ahead and remove myself. And then I have to give myself time to heal.
So let me ask this question. So when you find out, do a lot of women, the reason why they stay initially is because they blame themselves on why on
a woman ain't gonna never blame herself for nothing.
Oh wow. Okay. I did not know that. We're
not gonna blame ourselves for your cheating. No. I got you.
That's good.
Don't get me wrong. We're gonna go into the whole aspect of what is it that I did, what is it that I did, what is it that I didn't do. But we're not going to blame ourselves. We're gonna question that. Okay.
Okay.
Well, fellas, I didn't hear if any of y'all would take your mate back.
What's the
who would take their mate back? I want to know who would take their mate back.
I'll say this. If you asked me this question 5-10 years ago, I would say hell no. Today, it depends on the reasons why. It really depends on the reasons why it happened. Because my last girlfriend, we went through stuff. I wasn't in the right headspace to even be in a relationship. And I tried to push her away for like a couple years. I tried to push her away and she wouldn't go anywhere. So I said, all right, you want this relationship? I'm going to give you this relationship. But let me tell you how it's going to work. This is how I normally operate. Now I'm in debt. Everything is going to me getting out of debt. So we're not going out all the time. There won't be any trips because I don't have it. I told her this up front. She still wanted to be in the relationship. And 4 years later, she's miserable because I did exactly what I told her I was going to do. Then when you couple that with depression and not showing her the attention that she needed, eventually things got real bad. And did she cheat? She may have cheated on me. I don't know for sure.
You don't know?
I don't know for sure. I know she either cheated before she cheated or she just started messing with the person I suspected once we broke up. So I think she cheated, but I didn't find out. By the time I found out,
you didn't know for sure. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't know for sure. Now, emotionally, I think she did cheat. Emotionally, I'm almost positive she cheated because I almost got in a fight because of that.
So let me pose the question to the guys. Let's be Mario Winans for about 2 seconds.
I don't want to
Trey, you ain't tell us. Hey, Trey, I still want your answer, though, Trey.
Yeah, you can't skeet out that.
I still want your answer,
wife ain't in on here, too. She's in.
I want your answer, bro.
Listen to me. Of course, I take my lovely wife back. I love her. I love her. I'll
Trey,
do better. I'm gonna
Trey.
do better. I'm gonna do better.
Come on, bro.
Do better, baby.
Oh, I'm
Because
gonna do
listen,
better.
because
What the fuck?
because listen. No,
I
no,
don't
no, no,
know
no,
what I'm
no, no,
hearing
no,
right
no.
now.
Listen,
What is
Why
listen.
would you
happening?
take? Why would you take her
Listen.
back?
Ooh.
I'm so powerful in my household. I did something. I did something to cause her to go do that. Because first of all, you
Oh,
have
you
to
taking the blame.
understand.
You
Listen,
taking
but
the
listen,
blame.
no, listen. That, but that's listen because it's like I'm not doing something right with this, but it depends on the person. Like T said earlier, it's very situational. Now,
Right.
will it work after I do that? I don't know. But at the
Mm-hmm.
same time, I'm like, okay, cool. What did I do or what didn't I do? But it depends on the person. It depends on the relationship. Now, if she's listening, it doesn't mean go back out to your friend's house later, right? It doesn't mean that. But what it means is that me, I'm like, yo, listen, let's attempt to work it out, right? And if
Okay.
not, then I got the shovel. I
I
got the
guess
shovel and the gloves in the trunk. You know what I
I
mean?
guess I guess we're from I
Okay,
guess
you
we're
gonna
cut
be
from different
outside playing
cloths.
boys the man
Nah, hell no. Hell no.
Hey,
on
Listen,
bended
I won't
knees?
allow him. I
AG,
won't
Like,
what's
allow.
that?
hey,
Listen,
look, that's
I
how
will
a
tell
man
you
has
what it
to come
is.
to me if he
I
decides
would
to cheat
it's
on me. You got to be on bended knees singing it like
You know
listen.
what I'm
Wanye.
saying? Yeah,
Listen,
that's it.
I think once you get married, right? And there is a difference
Yeah.
between,
Talk about it,
living
AG.
together,
Talk
boyfriend,
about it.
girlfriend. Once you're married, you make a decision in front of
Mm-hmm.
everyone, right? In front of God
Mm-hmm.
if you believe in God. Like I don't see what's more sacred than keeping your word. So where we're from, you got to keep your word right.
Mm.
If your word is not right, you're worthless. It's just point blank what it
Absolutely.
is. At
Absolutely.
which point, that's why I'll never speak to a liar, because once I have determined you're a liar, at this point, anything that comes out of your mouth is null and
It's a
void and
lie.
means nothing.
Exactly.
It,
Exactly.
it doesn't cost me anything to cut from right there, move on and be cold and strategic and say, this is what needs to happen now. There is no
Mm-hmm.
going back because to me, the relationship is done.
Yeah.
It's very cut and dry. I don't understand why we're so weak or we're not strong enough inside to be like, the truth of the matter is this, because when we do all this extra stuff, we're only prolonging the inevitable.
Yeah.
This is going
That's
to
not true.
happen.
Yeah.
That's
I
not
have
true.
yet to see someone successfully win someone back and maintain that relationship.
Okay,
I have yet
I
to
know
see that.
I
people.
haven't seen that either.
I personally
I know
Haven't
haven't.
seen
plenty
it
of
either.
couples. I
I
know
haven't
plenty of
seen it.
couples where the woman cheated, and the marriage is still fruitful today.
Oh, God
I
bless,
know
man.
couples that before they were married, the woman cheated. They got through that patch, then they went on to get married and still married today.
That's
Matter of
because they
fact,
made a mutual decision to fix
Right.
it together. You
Right.
can't have
well,
one
you have to do
party
that.
saying, I want this, and I'm going to work on it. You cheat. I'm sorry. I'm going to be better. But you're okay. We're engaging and saying, okay, yeah, I'll make it work. But you're not, what is the word that I'm trying to say?
I
What is
just
the word
don't.
I'm trying to
I
say?
won't reward. I just don't reward poor behavior. Like
No,
you know what I mean. Like if you do something, you did that on your own. There is no mistakes. There are no accidents.
absolutely. I
There
don't
was
ever believe
thought.
cheating is a mistake.
Right. Like there was some thought behind it. You
Yeah,
know what I
that
mean?
was
There is no
intent.
accident. Right.
You got in your
Exactly.
car, you
Hmm.
drove over there, you had
Right.
enough time to take off your clothes, you looked this woman in the eye.
Right.
You had more than enough time to say no.
Right. So, and it goes both ways because I hold myself to a standard
Mm-hmm.
where I am, regardless of what goes on in my daily life or whatever, quote unquote, there are no temptations really because I don't pay attention to it. I don't feed
Yeah.
into it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And that's once you start going back and forth doing that tennis match, that's a problem. That goes to your point about the mental and emotional cheating, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because those are
Yeah.
all pathways into the physical cheating. Those are
Yeah.
all like different sides of the same coin. But I personally have never seen anything where a person steps out of their relationship and it works out. I've never seen it. And I'm
Well,
not like I've just never seen it.
I've never
I've
seen it
seen
either.
it, but to the question, if my wife cheated, do I think I could take her back? So,
Would you want to know? Would you want to know?
Would you want to know?
I'm gonna
Would you
be
take her
honest.
back?
I've thought about what I don't know won't hurt me type of thing, right? But this is what
Mm.
I'm gonna say, right? It's levels to it, right? and I have a son, and I'm big on not wanting another man to even be in the not be in the presence, but like it would just be so tough for me to not be in the household to raise my son. It's another man who still could be a good man, and my son likes him. I mean, even though that just feel crazy to me, right?
He wearing your robe,
right? You know what I'm saying? Right, so it feel crazy. So,
he wearing your Nike slides,
right. You know what I'm saying?
It's a cold world.
It's levels to it, right? It's levels to it. So this is my thing, right? Now, if now this is just hypothetically, if my wife had a one night stand or something like that, I feel like that, I don't know, you know what I mean? I would have to go through it, but this is what I will say. This is what I do know, that I'm the type of person that's going to picture everything. So I'm the type of person that if she did cheat, I'm going to be thinking about what position. I'm going to be thinking about.
And this is why I can't be a swinger.
No, seriously. Like,
swinging don't work for me.
You know, how much did y'all do?
Best man, right?
Yeah, I couldn't
what
do
did
that.
y'all do? How often did y'all do this? That's going to play in my mind, right? And even when I try to take her back, I'm going to picture those things. And I think that I would turn into a person that she would no longer want. So as much as I wouldn't want to leave my wife, when you decide, it's levels to everything. I can understand. If she come home and say, hey, you know what? Something was happening. I end up kissing this guy. I mean, even though that sounds crazy, maybe that's something we can deal with.
Yeah,
maybe that's something we can deal with, right?
Anymore. Don't worry about that.
Maybe that's something I can deal with. Maybe if she say she was being flirtatious with someone, maybe that's something I can deal with. If she says she gave somebody a hug, maybe that's something I can deal with.
That's a lot.
You tell me,
you know
that's cheating. That's
but
cheating
listen,
right
but listen,
A hug is cheating?
But listen.
I cheat all the time.
A married woman, a married woman out here, no, bruh. That's physical. No, go ahead.
But
E.
listen,
I'm sorry. E. Go ahead. E.
But once you tell me that you opened your legs up for another man,
That's a problem.
I just don't know if I mean, as much as I don't want a broken family, I'm not gonna sit here and say, you know what, it was me, and and you did it and all that bullshit. I'm not about to do I ain't gonna do all that Trey shit. No. Like, I don't think, you know what I'm saying? Like,
fuck that.
No, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, no. All that shit sound like a fairy tale. Like, no,
that's
bro.
not reality.
I don't think I could do that. You know what I'm saying?
That's not allowed.
Hey, I'm like, listen, baby, what did I do?
Yeah, I know, Trey.
Trey, clearly,
work this out, baby.
Clearly.
How can we work this out?
Right.
How can we work it out? You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna just start slowly, like, just dripping, like.
Trey sound good. Hey, look, we'll see Trey on the shade room. You be on the shade room.
I'll be
on the shade room. Somebody that went crazy, bro. Trey faking on his job.
What I gotta do?
Right.
Trey
be on that shade room on the news.
Be like, hey, baby.
For shooting somebody.
Baby, I'm so sorry you cheated on me. I'm so sorry.
I'm
sorry that you cheated on me.
I'm gonna be like, hey.
That don't even
They
sound
gonna be
right.
like, they gonna be like, hey, Trey, we love you. You're such a great man for taking your wife back, but we haven't seen her in a week. Oh, I sent her on a nice trip.
I know.
She's on a nice trip. She's on a nice trip.
Trey,
you know what? Trey, you best.
She will be back soon, everyone. My lovely wife.
I know.
So what you gonna be doing in the
I
meantime?
love her.
Oh, so my man has watched you.
My kids. I'm gonna be listen. I'm gonna be whistling more on my lawn, whistling.
You sound good, bro.
You feel me?
Goodness.
Look,
so you had an article though.
2 months. 2 months go by. 2 months go by. Your wife hasn't came back yet. Oh, she's in Mexico. She'll be back.
In Mexico.
You know what I mean?
I know my ride.
Yeah, you right. You right, E.
Trey, Trey, you had an article that had some stuff that we was gonna get into.
Absolutely, absolutely. So I want to see how Donnie defends this one and dodges this one. Okay.
Oh, Lord.
Wow.
These are the
she's
12,
representing all women.
These are the yes.
I apologize in advance.
Yes.
All of them.
Wow.
Team
Wow.
W. So we got 12 reasons, right, why women cheat. And Donnie, you better be ready for this one. You better
Good
buckle
night.
up.
I am so sorry.
So reason number one, okay, is dissatisfaction in the relationship. That's what we talked about earlier. Are you articulating your emotion to the person that you might feel is causing it? This can be seen as the underlying theme of the majority of motivations for infidelity. Dissatisfaction explains, right? People justify this by saying we are in a bad patch, right? Then the opportunity arises for one person, and instead of stopping things before they start, they justify by crossing a boundary with my partner doesn't care anyway. So they're justifying it in their mind, even though they want to make that move anyway. They want to justify it, right? Like, oh, my partner, he's not intimate, he's not emotionally there. Also, you have something with low self-esteem. That's what I pointed at earlier, where I was talking about, would the woman blame? Do some women blame themselves on why these men are out here? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because it says when a woman is struggling with low self-esteem or low self-worth, it may spur them to look to external sources for the attention and validation that their partner is unable. I think that's a bad word to create and sustain. I think that they are able. I just think
they choose not to. Yeah, they just choose.
Right. So low self-esteem starts out like, why would anyone find me attractive? Then someone starts to show you that attention. It feels really good. And then it starts right there. It starts with that, hey, beautiful, hey, let me get that for you. You know what I mean? Like the guy living with you did that in year 1, right?
He did.
You in year 4, right?
For a week.
He stopped after the first week.
For that 1 week.
So number 3 is emotional starvation. Emotional starvation. That could be like that. I think like that's the biggest thing. It's like this guy is showing you that type of attention. It says while studies suggest that men who cheat are primarily motivated by sex, women who cheat tend to do so to fill an emotional
void.
This is true.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is very true.
I agree with that, except for the part where you said that men cheat, because men don't cheat.
Yeah, men don't cheat. Absolutely not.
We don't cheat.
And
these are untruths, propaganda
of an emotional affair. Sex isn't part of the equation at all.
It's not. I can agree to that.
I don't know about at all, but okay.
I don't know about it. Yeah.
Wait, say that again. Wait, hold on.
I think that's a bonus. I think that's a bonus.
Hey, Trey, you said sex is not a part of what equation?
So this says, and in the case of an emotional affair,
okay,
sex isn't part of the equation at all.
Of an emotional affair.
Of emotion.
Yeah.
True.
That's not true. That's not true.
It
may start that way.
That's situational. That's situational.
It's situational, because I've been the emotional guy on the other end, and then I said, I like the long game. I'm going to get you if I want
that
you.
investment.
If I want you, I'm going to get you.
That investment mentality.
Did you say long strip?
The long strip it out. Number 4.
Right timing, E. Good timing.
Number 4 is anger or retribution. Some women enter into a relationship with an idealized image of how their spouse should be. That's that expectation. That's that potential BS, right? Women, when the partner falls short of expectations and can't meet their every need and desire, it can create a divide in the relationship that provides the impetus to stray. Right? Number 5.
Trey,
go ahead, bro.
Hey, you a good reader, bro. Go ahead.
Thanks,
I
bro.
just want to say that.
You can tell. Hey, that's why not. You know,
It ain't no
that's what happens when Nas.
Yeah, you a good reader, bro.
Trey, you know why Trey can sound like that? It's because he listens to Nas and that vocabulary.
That makes sense, bro.
That
makes sense, bro.
Simple as that.
Makes sense. My bad. I may cut you off. Go ahead, Trey. My bad, bro. I hate you compliment. Go ahead.
Number 5 is the lack of excitement. That's big. You can't
That's huge.
Fellas, you can't excite your woman when you playing Madden. Do you understand? Do you know what your woman is doing when you playing Madden? Do you know what she's texting? Let me stop. Lack of excitement.
If you got the right one.
You know what? You taking things a little too far.
Trey, you can't play the game, bro.
Come on, bro.
Hey, Trey. You on the game like 5 hours a day, bro.
No, that's different. But can I pause you right there, Trey?
Bro.
I want to pause you right there. The best advice I've ever heard is date your wife.
Yep.
Date her.
Absolutely.
Date your
Yep.
wife, excite
Yep.
her,
You
keep
have
her
to
Date her,
guessing,
to
bro.
date her.
surprise
You gotta
her,
keep it spicy, huh?
treat her like you would if you have a girlfriend. You dig what I'm saying? Like,
for sure.
You
Yeah.
gotta keep them happy, guessing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Take care of your woman.
It takes
Don't get me
work.
wrong.
It's work, bro.
You gotta work.
It's work.
You gotta like.
If you
And
take
I'm
care of
telling
us,
you.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Sorry.
No, by all means,
Baby.
please. No.
But if you take care of us in that aspect, we're not going to bother you when you play the game. I've had a few gamers. You know, if you doing everything that you need to do, you know, and you kind of helping me out before you play the game, you showing me that, go ahead and play the game as much as you want. I'm gonna make sure I got your hot wings on the side.
Okay,
there we go.
Okay. See that?
All right,
Really?
listen.
Take
all
notes,
right,
everybody.
be careful. Be careful.
Yeah.
That's all I say. Lack of excitement. You've likely heard of the term serial cheaters, people who cheat for the thrill of it. They may love their significant other. Wow. They may love their significant other, but yearn for those endorphin-fueled interactions that make that make a new relationship so exciting. Wow, endorphin. I like that. Sexual deprivation. How common is this with women saying that to each other? Try as we might to keep the spark alive. The excitement that accompanies a new relationship only lasts so long. Predictability and familiarity will eventually overtake the quality and frequency of sex. Oh, so basically, you're used to you know that okay, Bobby gonna be up Wednesday night. You know what I mean? Friday night, you you better get the DVDs out or you better get the Netflix out. Saturday night, he at work. Sunday he tired. You know what I'm saying? Monday he on the game. So, but it's just like that predictability. In most cases, a lot of times is not good because you're not even expecting it, right?
Right.
You're not even expecting it, right? So number 7 is loneliness.
Yeah.
A woman, listen.
We get very lonely.
Listen. Jill Scott has an amazing song. I'm lonely whenever you're around, baby. I'm lonely whenever you're around.
The goats.
Listen, the song was so beautiful. She's talking about her co-worker that's telling her everything that she want her husband to tell her. Right? But whenever she's with her husband, she's lonely because she think about the other guy. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. A woman who cheats may have a partner who works long hours, leaving them home with the kids all day. Perhaps
I don't like that one.
Perhaps
like that.
no.
Trying to make money.
He's trying to make money, bro.
Nah,
he's trying to make money for her, bro.
I ain't like that. I ain't like that.
Listen. Perhaps they found themselves in a stage in life when it's harder to make friends, or maybe their significant other is contending with a chronic illness. Whatever the reason, loneliness or feelings of isolation and disengagement can provide the perfect ingredients for an affair. Let me tell you the movie that kills my spirit. I can't even watch it anymore. What's the movie? What's the one with Richard Gere?
Richard Gere? Yeah.
Listen, that movie.
Indecent Proposal? Was that?
No,
that's
nah.
another one.
What's the name of it? What's the name of it, Donnie? It's
Richard Gere. And then
Richard
it's like
Gere
a French. He's with the French.
And he smashed his brain in with that thing.
Yeah.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Oh, that is.
I can't think of that. I can't think of that.
Exactly. Unfaithful. Yeah.
Man, Richard Gere worked his butt off. So what? Richard Gere was a crooked cop in another movie. You know what I mean? Sleeping with somebody's wife. In this movie, he was a good man. You understand what I'm saying?
He definitely
his wife
was.
over here getting destroyed in the middle of the daytime by some French dude.
It's always the French, bro. You gotta watch out for
French dude with the long hair.
But she tried to resist at first. Give her that much.
No, he knows. She went to go see him. Listen, that movie
turned him into a murderer, bro.
Yeah.
Bruh, she did it. That was her fault. You know
Crack
what I mean?
that dude's head open, man.
Women cheat in the daytime. Okay,
hey, Trey,
number 8. Yo.
Hold on, Trey.
Go ahead, T.
So you were saying that illness could be a factor if the partner. Okay, now y'all know most everybody or most of this pod knows about my accident. What happened with me?
Right.
If I was in a relationship prior to the accident happening, I would have told my girl, "Go ahead, you got to pass."
Okay.
I would have done that because at that time I didn't know if I was going to ever be able to function again.
Right.
But I think that's a bit heartless to go out on your partner while he's falling ill or while she's
Yeah,
falling
correct.
But
ill. You know, that's a bit heartless.
I seen that before.
Yeah, there's people out there, like, if it's not up, like, if things are not perfect, quote unquote, or things are not perfect all the time, that it's almost like they're looking for an excuse to dip. But
that's not honoring your vows if you're married.
Exactly. That's what.
And then even if it's a relationship, you got to try to be a better person, especially as an adult. Now, when you're talking between 18 and 22, 23, to me, when I think about back then, yes, stuff apply, but when you're young, it's a little different in my opinion.
Right.
But when you start to be like 25 and over and stuff like that, it's all about how you are as a person. And sometimes I look at it like this: is sex everything? Now,
No,
I'm not trying to say
no,
now I'm not trying to say that that a person shouldn't want that, but at the end of the day, there's more elements to a relationship than just sex. You know what I mean? And yes, you want to have that, but if a person is down for a minute and you know that eventually it'll be back, if you can't hold yourself to not have sex, come on, man, that's ridiculous to me.
Yeah, we have to have a lot of willpower.
I mean, or you could just go in the other room and go on Pornhub and come right back.
Right,
so anyway,
right. All that. So, and a lot of women have,
X videos. Yeah,
and a lot of women have their stuff.
You know, a lot of dudes by name, Trey.
I heard of them. I mean,
see, there you go, man.
That's why you got that strong grip when he shakes your hand. That's why.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I've heard of them. So number eight is
moving right along.
Insecure attachment style. This is interesting. Attachment theory. Attachment theory suggests that early childhood relationships influence how we perceive and behave in our intimate relationships as adults. That's very deep.
Yeah.
So it's
Freudian.
talking about your early childhood relationships influence how we perceive and behave in our intimate relationships. How many women?
I believe that is true.
Yep.
Yes.
I believe that is very true because some women are still looking for daddy in their adult years, you know. So
there you go.
Is the level of control, and it's a level of, you know, wanting to be dominated.
Yes. This has to work. Being subservient. Being subservient, right?
Yeah.
Number 9 is a midlife crisis. Lord. While midlife crisis generally affect people between the ages of 35 and 60.
35?
35 is midlife.
True, because you hit 70. Some people die at 70.
But what
some people hit 70. People don't live to 70.
The event has less to do with the age than extenuating circumstances. Major life events such as the death of a partner or a milestone birthday may trigger a midlife crisis in a woman, causing them to wrestle with the burden of greatness. That is the socio-cultural expectation that women can and should have it all. A successful career, a loving partner, adoring children, and so on. Number 10.
Because you don't have it all, you go sleep with somebody.
Go ahead.
Let's unpack that. Let's not breeze. Let's not breeze over that because
I'm not agreeing with that one.
No, but I don't. You gotta kind of admit, lately, if all of on our faces, we see all these people that are constantly on vacations, constantly out. No one works anymore. Everybody's independently wealthy. If you don't have that, then you must be doing something wrong, because I've said this before. Comparison is the thief of joy.
Comparison is the thief of joy.
Definitely.
Comparison is the thief of joy, because you might think everything is kosher, everything is good, you feel
and
good.
It's not.
And then you start seeing other people, and then you start being like, well, maybe this ain't good.
Right.
Because of this presentation of. And then you start hearing people talking like, yo, I don't do this and I do that. And you're like, well, then I shouldn't do that. And I shouldn't go for that because, some people, not all, but some people are impressionable. And that could be a bad
or
thing.
easily manipulated.
Correct.
Easily manipulated.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. So, I mean, that's why, it's up to us to make sure that we coach each other from taking away these mistakes because, these mistakes are avoidable.
Oh, yeah.
And, the juice oftentimes is not worth the squeeze because with diseases being what they are, you're destroying trust. You know what I mean? Like what you're doing to the family is just not worth it.
Yeah.
It's often better to be like, let's try to work it, try to have that conversation, communication, let's have respect. If it doesn't work, it's cool. They didn't stop making new people. There are tons of people in this world. Someone's there for you.
Absolutely.
There's no need to prolong.
That to be so.
Right.
But you know what else? I'm not even gonna say that. Number 10, an underlying condition. According to Block, depression and infidelity go hand in hand. An affair is exciting, so much so that the brain can begin to pump out dopamine, norepinephrine, and serotonin.
Nice.
Neurotransmitters.
Oh yeah. Come on through with it.
Verbal
neurotransmitters we produce when we're attracted to someone, but which not so coincidentally are the same chemicals produced when we take antidepressants. Okay. He says, in other words, a woman who cheats could be self-medicating through their infidelity.
That makes sense.
Even if they don't realize the true reason behind their pleasure. Damn.
True.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would agree to that.
Damn.
It's tough out here, isn't it?
They don't even know why
Very tough.
they're doing it because they think that they need to be doing it. But the more they do it, the worse that they're getting, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. That is a mental disability.
Number 11 is opportunity. Okay.
That's shallow.
Oh, you just thirsty.
Back to what Chris Rock said. Chris Rock said women cheat in the daytime, and Chris Rock said men are as faithful as their options. It's hilarious. And he said, he said, okay, so
it's terrible.
So
men don't cheat, bro. Stop.
Few acts of infidelity are premeditated, right? But rather a result of an unexpected opportunity. They feel down and another person in a similar boat crosses their path. They start commiserating. I love that word because that's from good. That's what okay.
Them two are commiserating.
Hey, look. Hey, Trey, somebody say, I love that
word.
No. Okay, I'm about to use it in the sentence because this scene is from Goodfellas. Jimmy Conway is talking to Henry. He said, Henry, you got to go home. I can't have your wife over here every day with my wife commiserating. I'm gonna keep going. Boom. Right? And then it moves on from there. She adds, people in this situation usually can't explain the reason behind their infidelity. And it sort of just happens because of the opportunity. Even though really there are specific moments of truth that can make or break a potential affair. Just like Alex said earlier, you have a choice. AG said you have a choice, right?
Always have a choice.
All right, this is the last one. This is
drum roll.
Number 12. Okay, so number 12 is numbing difficult feelings.
Damn.
Numbing difficult feelings.
I've heard about that. Yeah.
People can develop a wide variety of coping mechanisms to deal with difficult emotions, sometimes choosing strategies that have emotionally numbing effects as an easier option than facing them. Sex, drugs, alcohol, and other addictions or compulsive behaviors are just a few examples. An affair is an escape from reality, right? When women struggle to be honest about what they want with their partners and instead seek out a fantasy world, and not only numbs but creates an amazing jolt to the system, there's an adrenaline rush to cheating.
Of course.
And that's the 12 right there.
Number 13. Some women just don't care.
Some women
Yeah,
just don't
they
care.
just
Yeah,
they just
you right.
don't.
You
Why
right,
don't they
T-Street.
care? But why don't they care?
Because
Because maybe they're
well,
upbringing.
Yeah, true.
maybe
They
their
see their
upbringing.
daddy do it.
Right.
They can't do it.
The 10 years ago, 10, 15 years ago, I used to tell women this all the time. I used to tell them, I said, we won, men won. Y'all give it up too easy. We won the game. The game's over. 10 years later, I'm like, man, the guy done turned into the woman.
Yep.
Now the woman is doing the things the men used to do.
We domesticated the guy.
So some women just don't
because
care.
of the betas. Right.
Well, you
AJ?
know,
That throws the
the
balance off,
opposite
though.
of
But that's, two wrongs don't make a right. And what I gotta say is this: men and women, anybody who's listening to this, stop looking for someone to complete you.
Absolutely.
Because you will never be satisfied. You
Talk
are
on
a bucket with a hole in it. You will never be filled.
Talk to him.
It will never happen. Be with someone that doesn't need you. Because you want to be with them. Because that's what I have. That's the only thing I found that's worked. I was active in the community when I was younger. Started early in the game. And the one thing I can certainly tell you that helps me understand my wife is that she does not need me.
Yeah.
She does not need me. I can fall tomorrow. I can be out of this world tomorrow. She will take care of our family. She earns the money. Like, she does not need me. She wants me.
But you have to find somebody that's evolved that thinks like that too, because most people can get upset about the fact that you don't need them.
Yeah.
I tell people
at that point, that's controlling.
That's occurred a lot in my previous relationships.
I'm sorry to hear that.
I'm a woman. I'm an alpha woman. I don't need a man for anything.
Alpha.
See,
I don't need a man for anything. Anything that you can give me, I can give it to myself. So if I may have hurt somebody's feelings, but I tell them, I'm like, dude, you're like a Gucci bag. I mean, like a Gucci bag or a Gucci belt to me.
Wow.
There's nothing you
not
can
even
do.
A bag. Yeah. Talk that talk.
Like,
That's disrespectful.
no, you're an accessory.
I ain't never heard that before. You just a Gucci belt.
That needs to go on a hashtag. That needs to go on a shirt. Hey, yo, Ed, make that shirt happen.
You just a Gucci belt. Damn.
You just a Gucci belt. Let's hashtag that, man. Let's trademark that. Edit that part out. We keeping that. That's dope.
Yeah, it's like an accessory. I mean, a lot of us independent women, we can kind of get a little, what happens is we utilize our masculine energy a little more than our feminine energy, and it kind of, makes a man feel demasculated. So you got to be very careful along those lines when you say that part, you don't need nobody. Because a man, in most cases, wants to be needed. So if a woman tells you, hey, look, I don't need you, it's going to make you feel some kind of way.
Not necessarily like I don't need you, but
I think that's
what I mean.
That's a harsh word.
You know what I mean? I don't. I am fine who I am. I'm not dependent on you.
Right.
I'm not dependent on you. I choose you. I don't need you. I think that's a very powerful. Yeah, that's a very powerful.
Choose each other. Exactly.
It's very powerful when you choose each other. You choose to be with this person, and trust me, I get it because I see relationships where it's clear that they're miserable. That the other person is just doing things to bother the other person. And they're only there because of the family and keeping up appearances. And I don't think that works either. You know what I mean? I don't want that for anybody. I don't want that for anybody.
You become too complacent and you stay in something that you're not happy with. Why do that to yourself?
Yeah. So the key point to it is look at how many marriages dissolved during COVID.
Absolutely.
Yo, I can't even stand you. But I'm married to you, but I can't be like in the living room with you for like 4 hours straight, for 5 hours, like every day, because I can't go to work.
But that's a wrong reason. That's a wrong reason getting married issue. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people do get married for the wrong reasons, and then it ends up coming out in the end. A lot of people get married just for the sake of getting married. Some people really don't know they mate. Security. Like they don't do. Some people want to just security, or they want to look. They want to be able to just to say I'm married.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's the end thing to do.
Yeah, married for love isn't the.
That's what I was told. I was told that during premarital counseling, we were asked the question, hey, look, why are you getting married? And I went into the whole thing. Oh, I love him. We have beautiful children together, blah, 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 blah. And this man looked and said, oh, well, I'm getting older and it's the right thing to do. We went into it the wrong way.
For sure.
And you didn't stab him?
I wanted to, but
I mean, I'm not mad. We would have helped you cover up the body.
At that particular time, I wanted what I wanted, so I was willing to make it work no matter what.
True. And sometimes we do grow and grow apart. You know what I mean? Sometimes we grow together, and sometimes you grow apart.
That's true. That's a whole pod right
so
there.
I got
the growing apart part.
I got one last question, right? And this is, so we've been talking about cheating, or the show started off as, women being promiscuous and was focusing on that, right? But I want to get, we'd like to try to get to resolutions at the end of episodes with certain topics. And so with this one, the question is, do you think that you can prevent your mate from cheating? Now, an adult is an adult. An adult is going to do what an adult wants to do. So I don't mean it in that aspect. But what are things that you all think that make a person that yearn for someone else, that you have done in your relationship or that you will do in your future relationship, in order to not, when you do something, how, like, for example, sometimes a mom will tell their daughter, hey, you better make sure you keep yourself up so your mate won't be looking at somebody else, little stuff like that. So I'm just asking overall, what do you think you can do in a marriage or relationship to make your mate not even think about straying?
Be their best friend.
I'll say this.
Yeah, you said that.
Be their best friend. You don't break up from your best friend.
Go ahead, sweetheart. Go ahead.
I know a lot of couples that broke up from their best friend as well. But anyway, the one thing that I would say you have, or two or three things I would say, you have to communicate. Communication is
for
key.
Sure.
Because a lot of things break down because people are scared to talk to each other. Yeah. You have to be able to receive that communication and then act on it. Because just because somebody tell you these are my needs, these are my wants, if you don't act on it, you can receive it. They could tell you in this area you're a piece of shit. They could be cold-hearted at you, but you have to be able to receive it. You have to be able to receive it, internalize it. Yeah, positive. You gotta look at it from his or her point of view.
Right.
Internalize it, see what you're doing to cause her to feel this way. Then you have to correct it. You have to make strides to correct it. And it's a constant thing because a relationship is nothing but work. When you get past the honeymoon phase, it's all work. The problem's going to arise. You have to work through it.
Yeah, that's a good
one. You said, yeah.
I totally agree. You definitely have to pour into your partner. And the more you pour into your partner, especially a woman, if you're pouring into her, she has every reason to pour back into you. Yeah. It gives us our substance. We like to constantly be validated, and reassured that one, that we're truly valued, and two, that nobody could compare to us. So I think in that aspect, you have to definitely keep an open line of communication. Talk things out. Don't look at it as her nagging or her complaining. Because all we're doing, if we're nagging and we're complaining, we're just letting you know how we're feeling in the moment, and we want you to do something about it.
Because once that stops, that's when you should worry.
Once it stops, once we cut that off,
worry.
You gotta. That's when you worry.
Yep. I don't mind nagging at all.
When she's taking a little bit.
That's a good thing.
Hey, look, she's taking more baths than usual.
Uh-oh.
This smelling too good. Where you going?
Where you going? This smelling too good. Where you going?
Hey, now we in
Give
the
us some more info. Come on.
Now we in the rec room.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, we in there.
Hey, would you say she taking more baths, bro?
She's taking more baths. I think you need to watch her. You know what I'm saying? She's standing in an awkward position. She's doing them kegels. Hey, look, I'm just letting you know.
Oh, God. Dang, you didn't win there.
That's a whole pod. That's a whole other pod. Extra baths. That's the name of the pod. Extra baths.
Oh, yeah.
Extra on the next rec room. Extra baths.
Don't let her pour a little teaspoon of vinegar up.
Oh, the vinegar.
She's trying to
snap back. Snap back.
Let me shout out the people that's in the room.
do your thing. Do your thing, bro.
Let me shout at my place. So check it out. Man, we got a lot of people in the room.
Hey, everybody.
Okay? So, listen. We have, I'm sorry, I want to say this name correct. It's MUUPK. Fantastic comments. We have Miss AE. We have Miss Ladybug in this.
Oh, Ladybug. Okay,
hey,
that's dope.
Shout out.
Yes, we have Chance. We have Chance in the studio. We have my man Huff, GK DPT. That's a gangster name right there. Huff, GK DPT. We have Eugenia Donald. Mm-hmm. We have Kia K. Mm-hmm. We have Kia Miss Kia K. Mm-hmm. We have TVE, PT, BMU. Okay, I see you. And we have the notorious Erica Smith, my homegirl. She is in the room. Miss Eugenia Donald, if I haven't shouted her out, Miss Eugenia Donald had fantastic, funny comments. Mm-hmm. Yeah, right? We have
at night.
Yeah, she's at night. She's at night. At night. That's her name. Tata. We got Tata in the studio. We have Knit DNYCF. Okay, appreciate you. And
appreciate you guys.
We have TUWWRQDP. We have CITCYDG. Man, we got a lot of people in here.
Hey, y'all need to put some names up there now.
Yeah, we need some names.
First time listening.
Hey, bro, I feel like I'm in a dictionary, bro. But listen. We had Miss India Fitzhugh. Miss India Fitzhugh.
India.
Okay, we have Miss Lisa Nash in the studio. Okay.
Be quiet.
Listen, we got a lot of people in here. I'm just saying. We have Nicole Mayfield.
Hey.
We got Nicole Mayfield in the house. We also have man, we got a lot of people in here.
And all the people are gonna be listening after it being live.
Absolutely.
Shout out to everybody listening.
So that's a shout out to everybody that was in the room tonight. E, take it away, E.
So I want to give a special shout out to Miss Danya for actually joining us. Let me do that.
Thank you for my round of applause.
It's a safe space. Thank you for your information. We learned a lot.
We truly appreciate it.
I'm glad I could oblige. I really am glad I could oblige. And I will be taking over your next podcast. I don't know.
I already did. I see. I feel the energy. I already see it.
Cody, you're going to be first lady on the mic.
But we truly appreciate it.
Thank you.
This was our 14th episode.
Oh, right.
And we just, as we always say, you can, follow us on Instagram, the Rec Room Pod. The pod is available on Spotify, Amazon Music, Google Pods, also on YouTube. As I say every week, we are going to start doing the pods in person. We were having a little technical difficulties, and not really, just trying to get everything straight. So when we do it,
getting it tight.
Yeah, so that's coming
soon.
Getting
it tight, getting it right.
Yeah, exactly. So that's going to be coming soon.
Extra bad.
Can't wait.
Pay off.
Yep, I look forward to that.
Snap it back.
Hey, snap it back to the vinegar. Hey, yo, happy Mother's Day to all. To our special guests, happy Mother's Day to you. Happy Mother's Day to you.
Happy Mother's Day to all the
listeners. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there.
Without you, we're nothing.
And any questions that any of the listeners have, just follow us on IG. If there's any questions, any topics that you want us to cover, just let us know. We appreciate everybody for listening tonight and who's going to listen in the future. And with that said, see y'all the next time.
Peace.
Peace.